Welcome back to the channel. Okay, next job is to repair or attempt to repair this rear seat brace. So taking this out of the vehicle, suffered, as you can see, suffered fair bit of damage and rust. This side, not too bad. You can see where we've taken it from the floor and removed the spot welds to do that. This side though has suffered quite badly, especially on that edge there. Okay, but overall the panel isn't too bad, and I think it's something that can be saved with a little bit of time and effort, and it certainly saves buying a new one of these, which is somewhere in the region of 160, 170 pounds. So yeah, if we can keep this one and make it good again and get it back in the car, we should be fine. And sort of looking at the panel from here, you can, I mean, inside here, he's considering there's not an awful lot of paint, if any, it's not too bad, and it's simply surface. This side is going to need a bit more work, but I don't really see too many problems with that, if I'm being honest. And one of the issues is these tabs. Now, what's happened here is the tab that was originally there, and there should be one either side, it's been plated over. So I didn't even know this existed. There was one that went over this, and I didn't know this existed, or it was still there until I started cutting away at the repair, which, as you can see, wasn't particularly good. So luckily we've got the majority of that shape to reform it again. Okay, and I do have a picture of a Mk1 Escort. It's actually same year as mine, a 1972, showing the tabs. So we should be able to make templates of something very similar and get that welded to that. And when we put the new floor in the Escort, then this can go back in and it will be looking a lot better than what we've got. Okay, so first things first is remove the paint off this and see what we're actually left with. I will, where I can, throughout the car, try and remove all the paint, because what I find is, and certainly what I'm finding with this car, is that paint can hide some really bad repairs if repaired at all. So yeah, I'll be looking to sort of try and clear as much paint as I can where possible, to make sure that there's no surprises. So yeah, next stage, yeah, as I said, will be to clear the paint off this and see what we've got. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay guys, next installment of working on the rear seat brace. So I've done a couple of repairs already. So first thing was to put these tabs, weld these tabs back on. Okay, which I've done. one this side and one that side as well. So this is what we've got. I certainly haven't sort of put any sanding disc on this to get it smooth, but one thing for sure, it is absolutely solid. Same on the other side. Okay, so apologies for the welding, but and I'm gonna have to say that the welding is crap because it's me, not the welder. I'm using that welder down there, which is the Mk1 guys. If you, word of advice, if you're looking for a welder which is plug and play, the Mk1 is the one to have. Trust me on this, it's absolutely brilliant. It pretty much sets itself up. You tell it what wire speed you've got, you tell it what thickness of metal you're working with, and it does the rest. Amazing bit of kit. I will do a review on this at some point, but yeah, back to doing some work. But yeah, if you are in the market for a welder, yeah, this is the business. And what I will say is I've had this and I'm comparing this to the previous MiG 180, and it's miles apart. Another thing that I've sort of picked up on as well is when it comes to using 0.6 or 0.8 millimeter wire. This time I've used 0.8 and I think I'm getting better results. So I can't say whether it's the welder, me getting better, but certainly that's a variable that I've changed and I seem to like it. So yeah, we're going to continue with that until we get to a point where we're really working with really thin stuff, and then we'll change to 0.6. But for now, and any general repairs, it's 0.8 until we see otherwise. Okay, so yeah, back to this. So next steps are then is remaking this. Now some of it's original, some of it's rotted out. It looks really bad on here because I had to sort of hack it to sort of get it out, get this panel out. So that's going to be sort of a job that needs sorting. Getting these welds sorted on the back here. But the next job really that I'm going to focus on is going to be this edge here. So this edge is rotted out. Okay, so you can see it's pretty bad. Okay, so if you can see this line here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut a little bit up here, cut across this line until here, and I've got some metal there to start the process. And I think what I'm going to have to do is cut that first piece that's been measured up, do it again, and that should be enough to do this side, and then I'll worry about this part. But I've got a plan for this to sort of replicate this, and that we're going to try and do that in one piece, and yeah, get that done. That side is a lot better. You can see it's intact a lot more. It's going to need basically, from what I can see, probably 2 repairs on that, and then that's tied up. But the main real focus is trying to get this side done. So we're going to cut this out, cut this metal, and then we're going to try and use that little vise to try and bend the metal and get into a situation where we can weld this in. So that's going to be the next job. So yeah, I'll come back to you when we when we have some progress, which should be for you guys straight away. Okay guys, so we've cut out the bad stuff. So we used the trusty father-in-law's Dremel. I find that you can get well, me personally, I believe that I can get a more accurate cut with this, and I'm going to be truthful, guys. I don't like using angle grinders at the best of times, and I'm a bit of a fairy. I'm a bit of a fanny. So yeah, so I prefer to use the Dremel. Okay, genuinely, joking aside, I do get better results with this. I just seem to be able to get more accurate. So yeah, we've cut that out, and I deliberately tried to cut just underneath where these indentations are. I couldn't do anything with this one, so basically what we're going to do is for this side is we're going to replicate that side, so that's obviously intact. So we'll do a bit of cardboard aided design on this and transfer it to here, and we should we should be okay with that. Okay, so yeah, being able to cut out the worst of it, I did try and do it in one hit, so that's what we're left with. Now the reason why I wanted to do this is that this line here is this line here is the fold, okay, which actually sits on the floor, and obviously you can see where it's where the spot welds would go. So I wanted to be able to sort of being able to measure the distance from what I've cut here to there, and obviously from there to there, to make sure that we get it correct. Okay, so yeah, that's why I sort of cut it off in one hit. You can see this is what we're dealing with. Just rust, just 50+ year old car. This is what you find, and but that's a relatively small piece compared to the whole of this. It gives me an opportunity to practice on my welding, and yeah, I mean, if this was 70% gone, I'll be buying a new one. But yeah, this gives me an opportunity to do a bit of work, and so far so good. Okay, so next part now is to sort of cut this. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll cut, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but we'll cut this twice. So you'll have one piece there, yep, and then there'll be another piece sort of leading up to here, and then I can sort of make the rest of that using that as a template. And yeah, there's a bit of cardboard already started that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So next thing now is to cut this, and then I'll try and cut that as accurate as I can, and then I can use that to make another template, so we've got two pieces. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back, guys, into the next day. So we've cut the two pieces required for this panel. In the last one I mentioned that I cut what I needed to cut out for this, so I was able to use the trusty Dremel again and make two fairly accurate cuts and fold them up. So what I used is this device, this which I bought from, I think this is an Aldi middle aisle special, and I got 3 of these, and it's worked out pretty well. So being able to sort of clamp, basically put the metal in the vise, clamp one side of it with this, and sort of turn it over, make the fold, and then used this hammer to sort of hammer it down. Just taking my time. What I will say is I may have got some half decent results here in the end, after sort of folding, adjusting it, folding a little bit more, using the dolly to sort of straighten things out, and the cuts were pretty decent in the first place. I'm using a vise. What I would say is, if you've got something where you can just sort of put your bit of metal in and it folds to the angle that you require, it's worth every penny. Saves a lot of time. You know what, since just doing these little 2 bits, I've got a newfound respect for people who do metalwork on a daily basis for you know, for professional purposes and stuff like that, because you know, metalwork is not as easy as it looks. Like you guys, I watch a lot of YouTube videos and people make it look easy. That's their skill level coming out there. It's not as straightforward as it initially seems, but it is what it is. So yeah, we've now got these two. This will be the this side will be which goes to the floor, and then I've done my best to sort of straighten this out, so when we do weld these 2 bits on, you know, it's you know, we're starting in a decent place. There's a couple of gaps there that we need to fill, but honestly, easy work with a welder. So yeah, the next part now is to weld these in place, and put this back, you know, get those bits to stick to that, using that welder down there. So before I do that, and I think that a way that I'm going to do it is obviously clean up this side first, clean up this edge, and probably I'm going to tack this side and get it all level, but then I'm going to probably weld this side first. And the reason why is obviously this is going to be hidden, so I'm not going to be I'm certainly not going to be looking to sort of grind it down or anything like that. I'll leave the strength in there as much as possible, and any sort of grinding is going to be done on this side. It's not going to be massively visible, and it's certainly not going to be a Concours sort of repair or car. It's just making sure that it's done to the best of my ability at this moment in time, and you know, that will do for me, you know, and it's certainly better than what we started with, and it's an improvement overall. Okay, small but steady. So yeah, that's my next thing. So I'm going to do that now, and yeah, well, I'll come back to you with some results. See you shortly. Okay guys, back again. Now I know I said I was going to be welding this, but we've encountered a little bit of a problem. So this piece that I cut, if I was just to butt weld it, okay, against the cut that I've done, this lip comes down by about 2 or 3 inches, which I'm not 100% sure is right. And so if I look at the other side as a comparison, even though I've got to make a repair in this corner here, yeah, so basically I'm going to be chopping a little piece out here, chop this, and put a piece in there. You can see that where this ends, it sort of flows into this line here. Okay, so like I say, when I was doing and looking at it on this side, it didn't quite work out. Now, I'm absolutely positive I measured it properly, correct. I don't know what's happened, but it is what it is. So if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. So I think the idea, what I'm going to do here is tack in 3 places and then cut, and try and do a cut along that line again, but at a 45-degree angle, so there's very little if any gap. Okay, and then I'm gonna butt weld it in place. Yeah, butt weld it after that. Okay, because the line is we're going to cut along this line, so I'm going to tack it in place so it doesn't move temporarily. Okay, this is my idea. I think if you watch any of the other YouTube videos, things like Dave's Garage and Fritz's Fabrications, they talk about I think it's called a cut and butt. So I'm thinking this is where it's gonna go. Now, with me doing it, it's gonna go one or two ways. Either it's gonna work and it's gonna be great, or it's not and it's gonna, that's the panel ruined. So I'm gonna give it a try, and I'm gonna see what we can do, because it doesn't sit quite right from what I can see. But where that is now, that's where I would expect it to be. Okay. So yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a cut, see how this goes, and get it in place, and then look to put the other piece in as well. Another bit of learning as well, what I would say is, if I could have done what I should have done, is been a little bit more patient, got some more steel, and got done this in one sort of one piece of metal straight across. Okay, I wanted to sort of crack on and get moving on it. It's not the end of the world. I think we'll hopefully get it working and looking okay and presentable and solid, and all the rest of the bits and pieces. But certainly from what if I was learning, if I was to reflect on what I'm doing, I would have done this in one piece straight across and tied it up, and then just made this bit here for this area. Okay, but yeah, let's see what we can do. And yeah, I'm gonna just tack it in place and see where we get to on this. So I'll be back to you shortly. Back again, guys. So the last bit of the video was literally 5 minutes ago. Do you see the deliberate mistake? Right. Basically, I had this the wrong way around. So this edge that I'm holding in the last video was up against this edge completely the wrong way, and that's the reason as to why it was looking way out. Yeah, so spotted it before I before I tacked that on. So what I said a couple of minutes ago with regards to tacking it, doing another cut and butts and all that business, completely forget it. Okay, this one is down to user error. Okay, so we've now got it the right way. You can see this just needs a little bend up, a little persuasion, and that's going to be in line with this where I actually want it. Okay, and the idea of this, when this is in the car, is obviously this is at an angle, and the idea is that your wires go underneath here. Okay, and these are the wires that will go, the wiring loom that will go into the back of the car to do your fuel gauge, your lights, your reversing lights, boot light, and all the rest of the stuff that goes on there. So yeah, you need that. When we put this back in the car, there may be some modifications anyway, where we actually drill through here, depending on where I sort of put fuel lines and all the rest of it. But that's a long way down the line. But yeah, just to sort of clear this up, yeah, that is in the correct place, in the correct position, and the right way. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna start welding this up and see how we get. And before I welded, I did sort of clean up this edge as well. Okay, so just making sure that we're working with clean metal. Okay, and eventually what will have to happen with this is we will have to, I think once all the work is complete on this panel, and things are ground down and all the rest of it, I'm going to have this solder blasted. So we are starting, we are working with complete clean metal, get it protected, and we know it's done, dusted, it's a job ticked off. We're not going to have to look at it again. All right, so yeah, right, I'm going to crack on with this and I will be back to you shortly. All right. Okay guys, first part welded in. So this is what we got. Okay, so looking half decent. I actually welded, done the welding from the back. Okay, I thought it would be cleaner this side. Question for you guys, do I need to weld this side as well? Okay, if I do, not a problem, and we grind it down, but it's pretty good. It feels pretty solid and strong, and all the rest of it. You can see that we've got decent penetration, and yeah, it's lined up very, very nicely. Took a bit of time to just try and make sure that it was, there wasn't too much deviation between the two, and obviously clamping it and just making, just sort of taking my time and going through it. So that's what we've got. Have a looking at it from the back. That's what we've got. So I don't think I'm really going to be doing anything in terms of grinding these down. I don't see the reason why. It's not necessarily going to be seen. In fact, it won't be seen because there's going to be a back seat over it. So yeah, I'm not going to touch anything with that. I'm going to keep the strength in that, and I know that's solid. So yeah, probably a little bit in this little corner here that I need to do from the other side, and I'll get some copper behind it, so we can take care of that. But yeah, this is what we're working with. Next steps now is to get the other piece put in. So this time I will get it that we've got it the right way. He says, yeah. Okay, and yeah, we're going to get that piece in play as well, and yeah, see how we get on with that. So yeah, next part will be this part welded in, and if we can make it look half decent like that first part, then yeah, we should be okay. All right, so back to you shortly. Okay guys, this is what we have. So both pieces welded in, welded, like I said, welded from the back. I'm not going to, like I said earlier, I'm not going to clean up the welds at the back. I'm just going to leave them as they are. They're not going to be seen. It's strong enough. Like I mentioned in earlier, please tell me if it's advisable to sort of weld on this side and do it. I've had to do it here because there was quite a gap between the two pieces of metal, so the original and this piece. Okay, so and what I found is that I was getting to the point where it was blowing through the metal. Okay, even though I'm sort of just I don't know if that's even a word, pulse weld. Okay, and going along. So when you've got a bigger gap, the way that I done it is you aim for one side of the metal, aim for the other side of the metal, and then you hit it in the middle. So you're giving it something to stick to as opposed to just blowing a bigger hole. So where you can see here where it's a little bit thicker, that's what I've done to now the right way to do it is you should have something underneath like copper, and I bought a big block of copper, and yeah, I can't find it, so I had to improvise and sort of fill it up with weld. So that's what we've done there. Okay, so not too bad. You know, the welder does a lot. It does a lot of the work for you because it's so good, and just a weld in between the two pieces there, just to make sure that it was it's fused and it's all okay. So that's that part done. Okay, the next part now is sort of sorting this out, and there's a little bit here where I do need to find that copper and put it behind and get it welded, you know, so we can get something sorted there. But yeah, next job now is to sort this corner out. Okay, so we've now got a profile of where we need to go to, and it looks consistent with that side. So yeah, what we're going to do is a bit of cardboard aided design. Already started a little, and we're going to try and fix that. We are going to fix that side and get a piece welded in there. We've still got plenty of metal, and then once we've done that, there's a few small repairs just on this side to do. Okay, and then really the next job then after that is tackling remaking that tab, and we're gonna have to do two, so we can put one here as well. Okay, so yeah, that's sort of how it's progressing. I hope you like what you see. If there's any comments or stuff, obviously feel free to put those on. Good, bad, indifferent, don't really care. It's all about learning, and yeah, if somebody can do or knows a little bit more than I do, then I'm all ears. Okay, so yeah, that's going to be the next job. All right, I'll be back to you shortly on that one. Okay guys, back on this. Done a few bits today, so I've made this piece up. Okay, and this piece is going to go in here. Okay, so we're going to get that welded in there, and that takes care of that. And then I've been working on this this bit here and just trying to get this right. So what we're doing is I've cut it made a template, cut it down, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld. I'm going to put a tack here on the back, and then what I'm going to do is do a tack possibly here, and probably one hit there. And then what we'll do is I'm going to try this cut and butt thing, where you cut at an angle along this line, and we can probably do it there as well. Yeah. Get rid of what's behind here. Okay. And what should happen is this panel should spring forward, and that one should go back. But ultimately, what you're doing is by cutting along here, is you're getting them to sort of join. And then once you've got them joined and you've got rid of the excess metal, we should be able to just tack them from the back, and it should work. And then we're going to have to work or think of something to get this sort of indentation back in. Doesn't really matter, you know, not going to compromise the strength of it, but I just want it, I'm going to try and get it looking right. So yeah, that's the challenge. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to crack on with this, and yeah, I'll be back to you shortly. Okay guys, back again. A little disappointed on this one. So what I've done is put a new piece in here, cut this edge off, okay, because I'm going to reinstate from here to here, and things were well, it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to be, and this is down to inexperience. So the cut and butt went actually quite well, considering, and sort of was able to weld. I used this item to sort of pick and sort of get it level where I needed to, and sort of fill it with weld, and had a nice thick weld basically down here, along here, and it sort of came down and all the rest of it. And then I decided that I was gonna grind this down before I put this piece on, so because I won't have great access. So, and this is where the amateur comes into it. And listen, it's all a learning curve. So I'm just a little annoyed that I could have got it better. But what I've done is I started grinding, sort of putting a lot of sort of weight on it, you know, kind of thing, and sort of digging in. And what I've done is I've sort of taken away this. Still solid, but it just looks a bit crap. You know, it's just annoyed me. And what I should have done, and it came apparent very quickly that, and this is the kind of thing that I'm using. This grinds down really well, to be fair, if you use it properly. And what I should have done is just let the grinding disc do the work. So not too much pressure, take your time, and it sort of thinned the metal out a little here. I'm reluctant to, well, I'm gonna have to sort of fill this, yeah, and then grind it down some more, because it's just not good enough. So basically what I'm gonna have to do now is put a bit of weld here, a bit of weld there, along here, because I'm not happy with that, fill in a little bit here, and then just grind it again. Yeah, just annoyed because I could have done a better job, and this has really pissed me off, if I'm being honest. Okay, so if you do come to do this, let the grinding disc do the work. And what I'm saying is, don't dig in, just nice and easy. Yeah, relax. Take layers off at a time and get it, you know, it's light. Really, I've realised now with that sort of disc, it's a real light sand, and it does the job for you instead of digging in. And this is absolutely, it's really pissed me off, if I'm being honest. I'm not gonna lie. Look, this is not it's not going to be a concours, but you try and do the best that you can, but it's all a learning curve. Yeah, I'm not going to bin the panel off because of it. You know, so I think with this side as well, I'm actually I am going to weld this side as well, because and make sure that it's all good. Yeah, and again, grind it down, but grind it down properly. Just take your time instead of sort of rushing. You know, and it doesn't look massively bad, but it just, you know, it could be an awful lot better as well. And what I realise as well is that when you're sort of digging in, you've got to be so careful, because you're actually thinning the actual metal that you put in there in the first place, not the weld. And yeah, here is it just pissed me off. But anyway, look, it is what it is. We've got to crack on and, yeah, try and put this piece in. So that's going to be the next bit, okay? And then go from there. See you shortly. Okay, guys. Yeah, mixed results on this. Okay, so this is the state of play. All right. Tried to put some more welding and ended up blowing a hole. Okay. The other two bits that are done, absolutely fine. And then what I decided to do was, while I had the welder out, was to I know I was going to put in here, sorry, I've put in the video, and if you appreciate, I've been doing it in bits, the video in of whether I should do the front and the back. Well, I've just decided to do the front as well, against that line. Okay, which hasn't worked out too bad, but that can be ground down and worked on. That has really annoyed me. And what was just a tiny hole, and I was able to sort of previously been able to sort that out. Yeah, it's just ended up getting a little bit bigger. So one of two things is going to happen: either I cut a little square piece out, cut that out, but weld it in, or I have a clean up in this garage and I find my copper block. Okay, now I need to find that, really, because, to be fair, it was actually yeah, this was actually a wedding anniversary present from my wife, and the wedding anniversary was copper, and I was like, look, get me a copper block, which would help me when I'm sort of doing welding and doing the car, and now I can't find it. So I need to find that, because you gentlemen know that is big drama. Yeah. So yeah, what we're going to do is, we're not going to do any more, we're not going to touch that anymore. Whichever way I go about it, I'm going to have to find this copper block anyway. That is now priority. Yeah. Joking aside, I need it anyway for when we do further repairs, but yeah, that's just annoyed me even more. So but look, these things are never going to go smoothly, and one thing that I won't do is I won't sugarcoat and say, oh yeah, everything's great and things just works the first time. We're going to have little mishaps, issues happening. We need to show them as well, and we need to find a resolution to get around them. You know, and like I say, I've learnt an awful lot just doing this piece here. The amount of time it's taken me so far, I could have just bought another panel, but that's not the point. I wanted to do something with this one, keep it original, or as original as possible, and do some repairs. And like I say, it gives me an opportunity to learn when I get onto the car, which is there. Yeah. The issues that I'm finding and I'm having here, if I can sort them out on a panel, which is really not gonna make much difference. It's not, I want it to look reasonable, and the main thing is that it is completely solid. There's no rust. It's an improvement from where it was. Okay, but Rome wasn't built in a day. But we need to get this. We need to get this stuff done properly. And like I say, if I'm encountering these problems here and I can solve them on these panels, which are not massively aesthetically important, then when we come to the car, we're going to be in a better position. So yeah, it's all learning, and every day is a school day. All right. So I'm probably going to leave it there for this video. Okay. And then the next video will be part 2, and sort of what I get, trying to get this finished. And it also gives me an opportunity to get some more gas, because I'm running really low. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us. The stuff hasn't come out as quickly. The content hasn't come out as quickly as I liked, but yeah, we're in the garage now. Regardless of the weather, whether it's warm, cold, whatever. We need to crack on, and we need to, the more we do, the closer the car gets back on the road. And to be honest with you, I just want to drive it. I really, really want to drive it. It's been 10 years since I've had the car on the road, so yeah, we gotta get moving. No more excuses and bullshit. It's got to happen. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back to you guys soon. Thank you.